It's great having you on the show today, and welcome to another edition of Viewpoint. It is an exciting and interactive talk show where we talk as EB. On the show, we talk about everything trending, ranging from entertainment to politics, health, education, lifestyle, power of community, you just name it. All you need to do is sit back, enjoy, and engage in our conversations. My name is Hadiza Galadima, and right here with me in the studio are my amazing and beautiful co-hosts, Confidence.
Hello, Hadiza. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Confidence.
And the amazing Rachel.
Hi, Hadiza.
All we do on the show is spark meaningful conversations, inspire change within our community as we engage in honest dialogue. All right, now straight to the business of the day. Let's get started. In the words of Peter F. Drucker, the best way to do the right thing is to do it the right way. Okay, we will be discussing some alluring topics today. We will talk about the sit-at-home order in the East and how the government is going about it. We will also be talking about dealing with childhood traumas, therapies, and getting help. And our last topic, we will be discussing on breaking stereotypes, that is challenging unconscious bias in the society. All this and more after the break.
Experience the acceleration of Oweleketv. Get the latest news from the glitz and glamour of the entertainment industry to the pulse-pounding realm of sports. We provide accurate and up-to-date information, exclusive interviews with top political analysts that will leave you craving more. Our team of professionals delivers captivating contents from Nigeria and beyond. Follow us on our social media handles at Oweleketv. Visit our website at www.oweleket.tv for a thrilling journey. Oweleketv, rising star at the fairground.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. This is Viewpoint, talk show where they talk as EB. Protests erupt as shops get sealed by the Enugu state government over the sit-at-home order defiance. Okay, 3 lives were tragically lost. Governor Peter Mba had previously, if you could recall, that he banned on Monday the sit-at-home order activities since on 5th of June 2023, encouraging residents to engage in their regular activities on that day. So the question is Governor Peter Mba going the right way about this, considering that the state is losing billions of naira every monthly, or let me just say every Monday, and now like lives at stake, they're at risk. So what should take? Is the government, like Enugu state government, are they going the right way about it?
Well, personally, I think both the government and IPOB are not going about it the right way. Because it's like, a clear case of fighting fire with fire. There are other measures that should be employed to see to it that this sit-at-home thing is curbed, because it's not just affecting the entire state government, it's affecting individuals, it's affecting businesses as a whole. So sealing people's shops, because they didn't come out. People are scared. Yeah. It's not the first time that, they've come out to say everybody should come out, don't do sit at home. Some people did it in the past. The much we know about the Southeast, some people did it in the past and they came out and they were harmed. Some people were killed, some people were maimed. Nobody wants to come out and at the end of the day find out that, okay, I should have sat at home. So you find out that it's just that clear case of fear for the people of Enugu State. For the people in the Southeast, they are scared. It's not like they don't want to stay at home. They want to go out. But at the end of the day, all the other times that they've gone out, they've had to have that history repeat itself. So government sealing up people's shops because they refuse to come out, and then when they go out to protest that they seal their shops, they shoot them. it doesn't make any sense. It makes people start asking, okay, if the government is also, fighting us, who should we run to?
Mhm.
What should we do? What's the next measure to be taken? I don't know if you understand. So for me, IPOB is not going about it the right way. Sitting at home, and saying that we're going to be sitting at home before Nnamdi Kanu is released, we're killing ourselves. You understand? They are killing it. We're putting barriers on ourselves because it's our businesses that are suffering.
Mhm.
Things that we're supposed to go and do. And it's not just affecting those in the southeast. You see that for you to travel, even on that day, you hear things like, okay, except if you're not traveling on Monday, which is mostly the sit at home day, no problem. But
Or if
once
it's
you
on
say that you're
Monday.
putting your traveling on Monday, no transport company from anywhere in Nigeria is going to
We'll
put
go
you
into
in the state.
it.
So it's really dealing with everybody, and the way they are going about it is very wrong. Both IPOB and the government is very, very wrong. Yes.
Rachel.
Confidence has spoken well. The truth is that two wrongs cannot make a right.
Exactly.
This IPOB and Biafra, this whole issue of Biafra, they know what they want, and they are fighting for what they want. In fact, some of them are so desperate that they can do anything just to get what they want, just to achieve this Biafra land that they are pursuing. And if the government is now being unreasonable, you know what these people want, you know how desperate they are. And then you're now telling innocent people, I call them innocent because most of even these business people may not even be interested in the Biafra, may not be, they don't have a business, but they just want, yes. So now these people are scared, they're in the house, they are confused on what to do. Government say go, IPOB say no go. What do you want them to do? Now they sat in their house, you went to steal their shops. And when they went to protest, you went to kill. 3 people died. I think the government, I'm going to blame the government here because IPOB, this is not a new thing. It's not something that started today. And so, okay, you want to correct them today. Peter Mbak came in as a new governor. And so something that has been on for a long time, you want to come in today and you want to stop it that way. It's not done that way. I think you know what you also want. He wants people to go back to business. He wants the state to get better. But then you have to know how to go about it. Yes, because now this thing, like I said, is not something that started today. It's not something you will fight in a day. Even if you want to dialogue with them or tell them, okay, we understand what you want, but you have to do it this way. You have to be diplomatic about it. You don't just go about stealing shops and killing people. I would blame the government on this particular issue. I would blame the government. Let's leave IPOB out of this. They've been doing it. They know what they want. They will still continue. IPOB will still continue. Whether I tell them to sit at home or not, they can still come up tomorrow and bring up. They can say the whole day the whole week no one should come out. They can come out to say it because they know what they are fighting for. The only thing is if the government wants them, to stop this Monday sit at home because it's actually affecting everyone. It's affecting Nigeria as a whole. So if the government want them to stop, there are better ways to go about it. You don't go about stealing people's shop, innocent people for that matter. So I blame the government for this.
And then, then again, I think I heard something about Nnamdi Kanu coming out to say that
they should stop. Even
because
Simon
it's bad that you're fighting for a cause and their leader in quotes is actually not exactly causing more damage. He's out there saying the way people are going about this thing it's not going to work. It is wrong. Probably he has heard it, he has seen what it is doing, and instead of uniting them, instead of unifying the people, he's tearing them apart because now people are scared to go down to the southeast. If you're traveling down there, it's like you're holding your heart in your hand because this whole thing now, of course, it's going to be a mask for robbery. It's going to be a mask for kidnapping because anything that happens, they'll tell you is IPOB. There is IPOB. For Simon Ekpa to have come out and make such a bold statement, for IPOB to come out and say, we don't know this man, we don't have any hand in what he's. So it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's breeding a lot of things. So I feel like they should just reach a compromise because it's affecting everybody.
The government should go about it
in a more civil way.
Exactly.
Because the citizens actually have the right to actually exercise their right, and protesting is part of their fundamental rights, and it is not criminal, it is not illegal. So for them to protest, the government should just handle it in a more civil way. All right, we would love to hear from your viewers as regards what we just discussed right now, so do get involved in our comment section. We will be going on a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay with us. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. Moving on to our next topic, which is dealing with childhood trauma. And dealing with childhood trauma involves addressing and healing emotional wounds that may have occurred during a person's early years. Okay, traumatic experience can during childhood can have a significant impact on a person's mental, emotional, and even physical well-being. These traumas can result from various distressing events such as abuse, neglect, accidents, witnessing violence, or experiencing significant losses. So, how do childhood trauma affect a person's long-term well-being and relationships? And what can the society do, all right, to prevent childhood trauma from occurring in the first place or from the beginning? Rachel, I want you to go first. Or Confidence, you want to go first? All right, Rachel.
I think these are things we should be bringing up. These are issues we should be talking about. Because you see Nigeria, not just Nigeria, Africa. Sometimes when it looks like Nigerians were trying to copy the Western cultures, I feel like we're not copying what we should be copying. We're copying the wrong things.
Let's not use the word copy. Let's not use the word copy.
We're adapting.
We're trying to behave like them.
Yeah.
We're trying to behave like them. You see, this issue of childhood traumas is very deep. It is. Look, children who grow up into adults. That's why you see most adults we have now, when they are misbehaving sometimes, you don't just look at them as sometimes it's something that started from when they were children. You see children who they may not have gone through rape. I want to use rape as an example. They may not have gone through rape, but they've seen people that these things happen to. Some children will just be in the house. One uncle will come to the house, will bring his girlfriend to the house, and they are doing something, and that child is in the sitting room. He may be watching film or watching cartoon. But that uncle, that my mommy's younger brother that came home with his girlfriend, is inside the room. And he's a child, but his brain is working. He knows what they are doing. He sees things. Now, you built something in him. There's something already in his brain. That thing is deposited there. Another thing happens again. My daddy is shouting at my mom calling her names, insulting her, maybe even raising his hands, and all of that, saying some hurtful and harmful words. That thing is deposited in the child. Yeah, it's there. It moves on like that. Something else happens, maybe in school, maybe the seniors in secondary school, I'm in primary school, my seniors are doing something, they are doing boyfriend, girlfriend, they are doing all of these things are deposited in the child. Now, if you don't correct those things, this child grows with them, he becomes an adult. And when he becomes an adult, mind you, he's no longer thinking about that thing as a child. He's thinking about that same thing as an adult. He's thinking about, okay, my uncle did this when I was small, but now I don't get sense now. He wants to do it the better way. Now he's doing the wrong thing in a better way. These things need to be addressed from when you were a child. They say charity begins at home. Everything begins from the house. Politics begins from the house. Every single thing that happens in the world starts from the house. Starts from the father, the mother, and the child. We need to correct these things. You see a father and mother, they finish fighting, they don't finish, okay, person can't settle them. The husband and wife, they've settled. Have you settled the child? You've not. But you settled, husband and wife, you settled. Something happened, maybe the older sibling went through physical abuse or something. You take police to go and arrest the person that abused the sister or the brother. You did this, but you've not addressed that child. That thing is in the brain, and this child grows up with it and they start misbehaving in public. You see adults, even people who are now in this thing now cut across. You see our politicians. Some of our politicians, they are stealing billions. It started from the house. It started from childhood. Yeah. Just like we have it now. Children we are grooming today, they are seeing these politicians we have now. And you as a mother, you as a father, you as a teacher, you're not telling the child, see, this our politician, they are doing it wrong, we don't do like this. You're rather saying things, if me I enter there, I go chop money or I go chop pass. The child is hearing everything. You see, this thing, they need to be addressed. Now, people grow up with this thing and they want to do the same thing that they experienced from childhood. In fact, you may not even remember. The truth is that if me as an adult, I don't remember what happened when I was 6 years old. But because that thing is already in my brain, when I want to do something like that, it's already part of me. It plays out. These things need to be addressed. It has to start from the father, from the mother. It's so painful and it's quite unfortunate that we don't believe in therapy and all of these things. We don't believe in, you need to go for therapy session, we don't believe in all of these things. And even the parents we have now, we're talking about Gen Z and all of this parents. The parents we have now, they just want your child to look good. You want your child to have the best, to be peng and all of that. You're not doing the right thing. So I think this needs to be addressed from the roots, from the family, before it even goes out.
Okay, so for me, Rachel attacked it from the roots, but I'm going to come. I'm going to come at this from the angle of that child having grown up into an adult, not knowing that some of these things are affecting them.
Yeah.
Most of the people we have right now in the society are going through things that they experienced as children that have not been addressed. Take, for example, things happening in relationships, in marriages, toxicity, all this narcissists, all this gaslighting. There are things that the inner child has not been healed. And so somehow it's like a baggage, they carry it along. Take, for example, a person that grew up in a broken home. Yes, you know that people have said that two good people can make a bad relationship a bad marriage, and two bad people can make a good marriage or a good relationship. Some of these things, take for example, like I said, people, someone that grew up from a broken home, you know that some of those things will play out in their lives without them knowing. Let's take, for example, he tilts more to the father's side without knowing, maybe because maybe he or she has lived with the father and has seen and feels it's a normal thing. It's hurt that the father had to leave the mother. Sometimes these things play out in the relationships that this person gets to see. Person dating ladies or having, relating with people, and you see that thing that had gone on in the home appearing in that person's life. People will tell you it's spiritual. It's not exactly spiritual. It's hereditary. It's a thing. You attack things and that's why, when Rachel said something about Africa, I felt she's right in a way, because most times we leave what we're supposed to be doing and we just jump the bar. We tell you, oh, they're following from the village. No, you attack it from the roots. If for a child who grew up watching the father beat the mother, you wonder why that child will grow up and becomes a woman tomorrow, and you hear things like, I don't want to ever marry. I've heard it. It was a story. A 5-year-old girl told her mother that if this is what love is, that she does not ever want to get married. They had to work overtime to actually kill it in her. The parents had to come together to the realization that we are actually, because most of the time, some of these childhood traumas, we don't know that it's no longer the parents, it's no longer the adults then. It's the children that is impacting. That's why children that come from a broken home, you find out that it's not the parents. The parents will move on, but you see that child, you've deposited a seed, and that seed will grow, and it is germinating and bringing individuals into the society, and you're wondering, who is birthing monsters? It's not a monster. There's something there. So I think it's a topic that, is deep and is not discussed enough. People also need to realize that should come to the reality and tell themselves the truth that I think that this thing that I might have gone through, let's take for example rape, abuse, coming from a broken home, most of these things stifling the child in you. Because we come from, when we're in Nigeria, we're in Africa, we come from homes where you hear, leave that place, keep quiet, get her from there, and you find out that this person grows up and becomes timid. You find adults that are timid, they can't say, why is this man behaving like this? A whole full grown man, ask questions. There are things that child has gone through that this person, a full grown man, a full grown woman cannot take certain steps, is fearful. No, check well. So, these are things we need to accept and tell ourselves that you should come to the realization that this thing has happened to me and I need help. Even as a full-grown adult, you need help.
And if that help doesn't come, you will pass it to your own children and it continues.
Without knowing. So therapies should also, be a thing. In our nation, in Africa as a whole, as individuals, embrace therapy. Tell yourself that even if you think you don't need it, go for it. You might not know there are underlying issues that might be there, and it's showing up in your behavioral pattern, and you don't know what the issue is. Everything, yes, life is spiritual, but sometimes there are things we need to tell ourselves the truth as well. Our inner child needs to be healed. What were those things we went through as children that is showing up in our lives now? We need to trace it back.
I can agree with confidence when you said an inner child needs to heal, because I can totally relate to that. While growing up, I think I was still in primary 3 when I was staying with a couple whereby at any slightest opportunity or given opportunity, the man slaps the woman. So the first time the thing happened in my presence, I went to school that day. I was not concentrating. I just kept having flashback. I think like till date, that thing comes back to my head. That thing comes back to me, because I feel like I'm just this kind of person whereby because of that singular act, I've had it in my mind that I would never.
Theories, yes.
And I will never tolerate domestic violence, even if the person doesn't mean it, even if you just raise your hand before it, because I saw how the woman felt. Do you understand? So it's like you said, we really need to heal. The inner child really needs to heal and all that. So I guess we would love to hear, because on every topic, we would definitely love to hear your take as regards what we just finished discussing. All right. We will be going on a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay with us. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. Moving on to our last topic for today, we will be talking about breaking stereotypes, that is, challenging unconscious bias in the society. So this topic is a topic that delves into the pervasive issues of stereotypes and unconscious biases that exist within the society. Okay, stereotypes are oversimplified and often inaccurate beliefs or assumptions about individuals or groups based on characteristics such as race, gender, ethnicity, age, religion, other factors. Okay, these biases can influence our perception, decisions, and interactions with one another, often leading to an unfair treatment and perpetuating discrimination. So now let's talk about how it affects us as individuals and what can be done to break this bias. Confidence.
Okay, societal stereotypes is an issue that we as a people we've been dealing with for years and years and years, and the fact that we're Africans even makes it worse. Take for example, I'm going to use the example of be a man, men don't cry. So many things have been, so many things that are prevalent in our society today. You find out that when you look back, we just finished talking about childhood trauma. Some of these things, they also start from there. You tell somebody, be a man, don't cry. He's a human being. I think as people, we forget that before you address person as a woman and a man, we're first human beings. Before I call you woman and before I call you man, we are human beings. So you can't, the society saying, be a man, don't cry, do this. As a man, I say, how about to drop as a man and as a woman, as a human being? You find out that, and if you look around, if you do your research, a thorough research, you read up, you see that 95% of the time, men are put in a corner where they are made to forget that aside from being a man, aside from being a provider, aside from being all that, you forget that you're a human being. So it's only, you have to be a man. You have to, like, even people will say, dear, you'll be working. And you're like, what do you mean by endure? If you want to cry, I go to a point where I tell my male friends, if you want to cry, please cry. If you need to let out certain things, please do. You're a human being. You were a human being first before you became a man. When your mother was pregnant with you, you went through all those stages before the doctor even find out that, okay, this is a male child. So you're first a human being. So I think some of these societal stereotypes, just like don't give somebody something with your left hand, it doesn't make any sense to me, because there are children that are left-handed.
And that's why I see parents trying to force a child to use right.
I had a friend that complained bitterly that he was born left-handed, but the mother was. So I'm like, what is it with it? Okay. So let's take for example now that some people there is different. Let's say that the right hand of that person is gone. The person, you see people telling you that's a different case. It's not a different case. It's the same thing. As far as you respect this person, as far as you give, I feel like I said something like this when we were on the show. I said that sometimes Nigerians, we as a people, we leave what we're supposed to be tackling, and we're tackling the wrong thing. Did I respect you? Did I, like your people say, did I dobale? Did I greet you well? Yes, but what is the problem? Left hand. It's one of the stereotypes I think we as a people, we need to actually look into. There are people that are born left-handed. There are people that, there are people that are dyslexic. Some of these, people that have some of these problems. And, before we even get to judge these people, get to ask questions. We just jump into conclusion that, oh, she's disrespectful, she's this, you don't know whether probably she has Down syndrome, or maybe she's autistic, or there's an underlying condition. And it's, out of some of these conclusions, some of these societal stereotypes are then born. And then you see that we just grow up as children and we just get born into it. You don't give somebody something with left hand. You don't do this. You don't do that. And you're wondering, what is going on? I think it's a thing that we actually need to deal with and tell ourselves the truth. That some of these are societal stereotypes and bias, it does not have a place in the society. We're just bringing it up, and people are just going along with it.
Well, I would love to take it from like a cultural angle.
Mhm.
I think this societal stereotypes is kind of intertwined
Mhm.
with culture,
Mhm.
because most people would say, as like you were talking about left hand, there are some cultures that say when you give someone with left hand, this thing happens. There was a time my mom told me, if you keep something, if you want to maybe hide something somewhere, and you want to remember where you hid that thing, she said if you use your right hand, you will never remember. And I tried it. At that point, I tried it, and there were times the thing worked, and I was like, oh, you say if you keep you want to hide money and you hide
I
money
think that's
somewhere,
a mind.
just
yeah,
conditioned
It's
your
mind.
mind
Just
to-
conditioned.
say if you keep money with your right hand somewhere, you will not find that
Find it,
money again.
yeah.
Keep it with your left hand. So I think these things it's something that came in with culture. They say men as a man. There are some cultures. Someone told me recently, I went to give someone something, and the man was like, see, you're working in this. Why are you working in this? Why are you doing this? You're a woman. Say in my own culture that we don't allow our women to go out. We don't allow our,
North?
yes, from the north. We don't allow women to work. It is we, the men now, that will go out to work, bring food for our women, that will eat, they'll be comfortable. Why are you working? And I said, I love to work. I love to do this. I said, I'm educated. How can I go to school and do everything, and then I'll go and sit in the house? I don't want
With
to
all
work.
that knowledge.
I told him, and then he said, that's the thing about women. That's the thing. I think this thing is kind of, it's a cultural kind of thing. They say, okay, as a man, you shouldn't allow there are cultures that say, as a man, don't allow your woman to be buying food for the house. Don't allow your woman to be providing in the house. It's an insult to you as a man.
Mhm.
I think this thing starts from the culture.
Right.
So sometimes I think we should even correct our culture. I know we cannot entirely correct it,
yes.
but there are some wrong cultures. There are some
Notions.
things that needs to be corrected. In this society that we are in now, women and men alike.
Mhm.
A woman can work and hustle and can be the breadwinner. There are families right now that it is the woman that is hustling and the man
That
is
is
the one
sustaining
taking
the
care of the
family.
children. Some will say it's an insult. Some will say that man is weak. No, the man is not weak. It's an understanding between the man and his
Mhm.
and,
It's
and
an
the wife.
individual
It's
thing.
an individual thing. You don't bring. There are people that when they see a family now and it is the woman working, they'll say very lazy man,
Tell you.
very whatever man. But the woman is okay with it. She's not
Fine.
complaining. She's fine. I think it is just this thing that they built in us. We're
Yeah,
talking
it's
about
that
childhood
conditioning
Yeah.
mindset, you know.
You know, it's something if we're not enlightened. There was a time we also thought this was a normal
Yeah.
thing.
Mhm.
We also thought using left hand. There was a time you think using left hand is wrong. Why is it left hand? Why are you doing
They
this?
make it look like it's such a
Yeah,
bad
like it's a
thing.
bad thing. So some of these things, I think it should be corrected again from the family, again from the culture. It's a cultural thing. It's something that if
It
you
should
go
be
and tell
that
your mother
relearning.
now, or you want to tell your grandmother that my husband, you know, they work, I'm the one. They will say,
Problem.
he after you, oh. Yeah,
Really,
that's-
it takes an enlightened mind. That's why
Yes.
Rachel said something about mind. Was it you or Rachel? It takes, some people mindsets.
Yeah.
You know what? Some of the things that happen to us as a people, mindsets. That's why you come to the point where you tell yourself, because sometimes we hate truth.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We hate telling ourselves the
People,
truth.
once they
this
know
thing,
something,
this thing is
they don't
black.
want to, yeah.
You say no. You know it's black, but you say no, it's white. And you're just killing yourself. Mindset, you tell yourself that this thing, and that's why, we as young people, we should start with us as well.
Yeah.
We already know the kind of families we want to have. We already know the kind of, relationships we want to have with people. So we need to start with ourselves
Mhm.
first. Condition yourself, condition your mind. You tell yourself, this thing now is wrong. How would you tell somebody that, okay, because I'm earning more than my man,
Mhm.
or because I'm earning more than somebody,
You feel
it makes
this
the
Confidence.
person
There are
low.
people who broke up because of this thing.
And it's
Yes,
a
there are
serious
people
thing.
who were in relationship, and because the woman got a job that is
6
paying more,
figures, yes.
he's
It's
like,
a
I
serious
can't
thing.
He
date
feels
or
inferior.
marry. Yes.
And it tells you that his mindset is insecure as
Yeah.
a man. And you're not wondering to yourself, what is the thing that's making you insecure? If she loves you, she has already promised you, your money is our money. And,
No, but there's this
it's
saying,
really...
my husband's money is our money.
Yes, my money is
is
my
my
money.
money. So basically, what we've been trying to say on the show is, let's take sentiments away. Let's have a sound mind.
Yeah.
Like, you educate yourself more about. Try and tell yourself, no, this is not it. This is not
trends
the
are
right.
changing.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
trends are changing. Just because people feel it's this particular way, then it should remain that way. No, have a mind of your own.
Relearn.
Yeah,
Relearn
relearn,
and
educate
relearn.
yourself. Yeah, and take sentiments away from life generally, and everything will just definitely work out well. All right, that's it on today's edition of Viewpoint. You already know. Talk show where they talk as EB. We really do appreciate you and your time greatly. Okay, let's do this again. Same place, same time. We would love to hear from you. So be a part of our community by dropping your opinions in our comment section. Do follow all our social media handles displayed on your screen for more amazing and captivating episodes of the show. All right, follow or click our notification bell on our YouTube channel at Oweleketv. Our website is oweleketv. Till we come your way again. See you next time.